You're all set?
Yep.
Okay, I want to welcome everybody to the regular board meeting of this January 9th for the Village Alex Bay. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Molly, would you like to do a roll call, please?
Yes. Trustee Caputo. Here. Trustee Demo. Trustee Fulmer. Here. Trustee Millett.
Here.
Mayor Putnam.
Here. Okay, let's start with some public comments. Does anybody have anything they'd like to bring up? Motion to close the public comment?
No, don't need to.
Don't need to? Okay. We're gonna skip on this New York Health Department letter. That's with this former bills or minutes. Let's accept the minutes from the last meeting.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes from December 12th.
Discussion on the minutes? All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Bills for this month.
Pay abstract 7 as presented. I'll second it.
Second, any more discussion on it? Greg, nothing to say? Okay, motion carried?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
All vote, excuse me. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Motion carried. Trustee reports. You would like to go first?
I can go first. I don't have much. I just want to let everybody know we had a Department of Health inspection on November 21st. It's a very good 4-page letter. Everybody's doing everything basically that we should be. We have to do a raw water intake cleaning more often than we have been. It was done in 16. We did it in 23. So Pat is scheduling to do it again. And other than that, everything, no violations, critical or non-critical or deficiencies. And I believe Gregor and I are using this letter to send to EFC to say, come on, we need, to be able to start our water project. Because in here, they do mention that they want the Rockwell Street storage tanks done and the rehab of this one. So it's another thing to hopefully...
Is there a deadline on that?
No.
Okay.
No, unfortunately not. But there's just that. And then the only thing I have as part of my report, the other thing is the good news today is that Trustee Demo is now talking and texting people. Molly got her first text today. I did too. She's feeling a lot better. I talked to her daughter, and soon she will be moving to a rehab facility in Utica, which is a good thing. So she just needs to get her strength back, and she's doing well.
Good.
And that's all I have.
Okay. Sandy?
Met with the fire department and just trying to get a better understanding of our responsibilities as a board and what they're responsible for as far as funding and budgets and all of that. And I think we had a great meeting, actually, I thought. And I've asked Molly for a whole bunch of stuff because we want to get more detailed and have a better understanding, because I know my first budget process last year, there was really not a lot of discussion. It was just, here, this is what it is, you're done. And I know David, he was like, he was frustrated also, so we're going to dig in for the last couple of years and see exactly where things go. Not here. The one thing that was brought up is the meter in the water meter in the fire department is not working, has not been working. So
It will be
I mean, it is working. They read it.
okay, well,
Yeah,
as
we
long as
just read it this week.
Okay.
Yeah, that
So-
was on the list to be replaced.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
had
that has been, the guys read it, because he did say, the other day that we read it, but we don't bill it, but it is read.
Right.
Yeah. so he gave me the readings, sorry, but I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, but that's okay, but that is a good thing to know, so if we were billing them, they actually should be billed and that should be an expense. Because their budget, so when you look at the, fire protection district, that's not just the village of Alex Bay, that's everyone, not everyone, but everybody in the Alexandria district. So that actually should be billed, and it should be accounted for, in my opinion, but.
Okay, well, they have to have a conversation with Tina and, Thomas, because they both agreed all of the village meters get read but not billed. And if that's a separate.
We're still billing the golf course and we're billing
Okay.
the sewer plant, so the village needs to decide. Are you gonna charge all of them? Cause we charge our sewer plant over $100,000 a year, I'm just gonna say, for water and sewer, and they're paying it.
But
But they talked about taking them off.
right, Thomas
So that's a discussion
That's a
for.
big ticket on the golf course.
Thomas and
Yeah,
Tina,
the golf course, yeah, it's a lot on the golf.
both, Thomas will sit and have a discussion and tell you that none of them they should be all metered, so we know where our water is going and we can account for it, but they shouldn't be billed. And that's when we have a workshop on, maybe with, Gregor on water and sewer, we can talk about that, but that should be done. And it should be soon, by spring, everything that is a village property will have if it has water, will have a meter on it.
Sure,
So
we know where it's going.
we're working it, yes, so we know where it's going.
Definitely a discussion for the workshop. So we talked to them about this resolution. Thank you, we just got it, but, this details, there's two exhibits here. One, Exhibit A has the debt service schedule, which will let them know exactly what is owed every 6 months, for principal and interest, and then the memorandum of understanding between the village board and the fire department. The only thing that I noticed on the last page on the memorandum of understanding is under bullet number 3, it says the fire department agrees to remit full payment for each annual installment, but because it's twice a year, should we have semi-annual in there?
Yeah, and I should point out that, number one, I apologize for getting this to the village so late today. It didn't give you a chance to go through it. Secondly, please understand that resolution and memo of understanding, those are just draft. You are the actual board that considers fine-tuning and changes, and if you think that you want some amendments to it, yeah, absolutely do that. I just was shooting from the hip with the limited information I had of what I thought you were looking to accomplish, but yeah, any changes like that, certainly feel free to make the amendments to them. I can have changes made and send them back to Molly tomorrow morning if you need to. But if you get to the point that you're comfortable that you want to approve something subject to the following changes, that's fine. I can get those changes made and back to you tomorrow.
For you people, this is what we had drawn up was an agreement the fire department was to sign, guarantee us they're gonna pay back the bond,
Yep.
so just so you know,
Yep.
okay?
Yeah, no, David explained it, I just haven't seen it.
That was fine, yeah, okay.
And like I said, I've read it, and I'm very comfortable with it, so if you wanna take action, you want me to read it, cause it should be read out loud, I will, or if you guys want more time to look at it, if you have, cause I know it was just here, but I.
I think it's good because you're gonna do it with the changes you want, so you're gonna leave it open to changes anyway, so you're gonna have to read it again.
Yeah, we'll just,
There's
Or you
one
can
change.
just make the change.
do we wanna
Make it-
adopt, a motion to adopt that, and then how do you wanna handle that? I mean, should we just,
What you could do, if the board was interested, you could have a motion to introduce it, and then second, and then discussion. And then during discussion, you could have a motion to amend as follows, X, Y, and Z. I'll do that on this document, and then if you decide to call the question as amended, you can vote on it, and then by tomorrow morning, I'll have the corrected document back, so Molly can have everything signed at that point, but it's up to the board.
Have you guys got to see it? Well,
I don't know if David's in, I definitely have not.
well, let's leave it at this, let's just, give everybody a chance to read it and look at it.
Table it
The
till
fire
next
department, and
Table it till
then
next meeting,
we'll
because they
table
haven't
this. Table it.
seen the questions out, and then we can,
Is that good with everybody?
I'm good with that, yeah.
But the one thing you do want then is at number 3, you want that corrected to say semi-annual.
Yeah.
Will we be able to get a copy of that?
Oh, yeah.
I'll have it tomorrow for you all.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna make a motion to table.
Anything else you want to say?
I'll make a motion to table the, table it.
the resolution.
The resolution.
I'll second it.
That was easy.
We're gonna just let the discussion slide by, and we're gonna, and all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to report on?
No.
Greg, you want to go ahead?
Okay, Jared wanted me to learn how to read again, I guess, but this is okay. I told Jared not to come because he was working late. He hadn't had dinner or anything, I figured he's gonna be working through the night anyway, so I said, don't come, just give me a note. Christmas decorations are all down, put away. I talked to Jared, and I think Mike talked to Jared, and we didn't mean to step down over top anybody on the curtains, but we had Jared take the curtains down because he went up one day when it was really cold. He said they're tough, but he said you get a wind and that, and we were just afraid they'd get
Like
wrecked.
crackling.
So he said it didn't sound, take them down. No sense of ruining them, and we'll have them for next year for the stuff we need them for. So he took those down to flat. We just like to leave them down for the winter because I think they're gonna be safer.
Get cleaned before they get put back up.
Yes. Let's see. The drain in the fire department was having a problem, so they, did that, they vacuumed it out with the back truck and fixed that. Sandbags are put back over on, Riverside Drive, that's what I call it, over in front of, by Garlock's where the curb is missing and stuff, and the curb's been ordered. And he wanted to put it in when he got a chance, and I said, don't try something in the middle of the winter. If it's not there right now, it hasn't been there, the sandbags are there, let's do it when it's possible. Don't try to go into, because you're just gonna pull stuff apart under the road. So that's done. There's a storm drain problem over on Second Street by Gail Lyons, is right off the corner. We have a storm drain right there in the yard. Well, that collapsed in her yard right behind her house. So they took a section of pipe out of there and replaced it down to the creek. And so that's all done. She was having, it was bubbling right up in her backyard. So they did fix that one. They've, take all the golf course equipment is finally done. It's down there. The gangs have been down there cleaned and put away. Okay. I give Mike has a couple quotes for paint for the office.
Yep.
Jared gave them to me, so he can go through those if
You wanna do them right now?
You can.
We decided since we're putting new carpet in the offices that we might as well go ahead and have the office painted while you got all the stuff out. We have 2 quotes. One is from, Thousand Down Painting, Matt Chase, and his quote was $98.50. And you have a quote from Albertine, and his quote was $3,500. And to do the wood, the windows haven't been trimmed, $4,700 total to do everything. That includes painting the walls, all the trim, painting the doors. So one's about half price of the other.
So the total for Albertine is $4,700?
$4,700, and the price from Thousand Down Printing is $98.50. So do we wanna? My biggest concern is to make sure they have all their insurances in order. And, because that's quite a difference in price. In favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, I got one more thing. Mike, the mayor, called me and, asked me to run down to Holland Street. They were fixing the boat ramp, so I did go down while they were working on it. There was 2 guys from, Fiacco's. They, pulled it apart, put a new plate on the side, drilled it, put it together like we wanted, pulled it, and they could do. As I was there, I didn't like the looks of it. So it was great, because Brent pulled up. I wanted it covered.
Okay.
And so we talked about, Brent and I talked about it, and I said, do you have any stone over there, and he had some shot rock left over there. So it didn't cost us anything for the shot rock, and our equipment was coming back, so they dropped the equipment right off, and I went back down to see him, and the mayor was there, and I said, well, they're gonna bring shot rock and stuff. He said, you might wanna go look, 'cause it's already done. All I did is run home, come back down around the block, and it was already done. It turned out nice, and that'll keep that small stone from washing out, hopefully, in there that's causing a lot of problems, too. So that is all done. The ramp is done,
Pin,
and I would like to, if we could just throw number 6 out, I would like to make a motion that we pay the town of Alexandria their leftover money.
Okay, and I will second that. I went and looked at it, and I'm happy as long as, I'll second his motion. I'm happy with it. I looked at it before the snow started, you know, as long as everything with the streetscape organization or the funding is fine, I'm good.
Any more discussion, Sandy or anybody? All those in favor?
Right?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Very good.
That's it for me.
I just got a brief one here on the, I guess for the DPW, police had 3 complaints, no arrests, no tickets issued, no warning, 10 parking tickets, 5 building checks, and they currently got another officer. They've, possible hire, they're just waiting for a background check, and if it checks out, it'll be another part-time police officer that's looking for some work, and hopefully the more officers, we can make sure the weekends are covered a lot better this year. Okay, that's about it for that. DPW done, any more, Greg, with yours?
That was it. Jared and I talked it over. Usually, if you wanna combine that in one, Molly,
What, Jarrett and,
Jared, mine, 'cause then he can back right behind me as a trustee, or I can go behind
Yeah.
him on the DPW, whatever.
okay,
So it's just one thing, and you ain't gotta have it on there, you know what I mean?
yep.
If he's got something, he can bring it up.
Hey, Zone, Mr. Schimmel, you got anything you want to say?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I'll do the first part kind of a year in review, and then I'll let Russ talk about our short-term rental meeting. The planning board was fairly busy for the village. They approved 3 site plans, last year. We did a site plan modification for Savasty, about status quo, I would say.
Okay.
We do have one project that, if they don't get started by, I think it's June 10th, they'll either have to come back and ask for an extension, or if they don't ask for an extension, it goes back to day 1 and they have to start all over again.
Okay.
I did notify them last year about their deadline, and I don't know whether I'll be nice to ask them. That's all I have, and I'll let Russ talk about the rentals.
We're still in the process of gathering some facts and figures. We've been studying the short-term rental laws of some other municipalities to see what ideas are pertinent that we can use and what we just don't think is worth dealing with. So we're doing that, and we're also taking a look at the local laws on the books in the village, because there are certain things that are already in place, such as parking and noise, to see if we can, if they're adaptable to what the short-term rentals are, instead of rewriting completely different guidelines when there's already some on the books. So our next meeting is a week from tomorrow, when we're just going to continue with the project.
A week from, what time do you usually meet? Like, is it
4 o'clock on Wednesday.
I'll
Yep.
put it on the website.
What's that?
I'll put it on the website.
Okay.
All right, we all set there? The old business, we've already talked about number 1, the agreement that we're gonna ready in streetscape, there's 1 payment left to make to S&L Electric, and we've already pretty much taken care of it. It's been signed and payment.
Yeah, I think it may have been approved last year, but, was never executed.
Correct.
So I think it's probably to approve it again.
Yep.
Okay.
But this is the final payout for S&L. Their closeout payment includes retainage and the remaining work that they had.
Pay after 7.41 cents.
I'll second it.
Okay, we've already discussed it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Number 2,
And, which is a good sign. So they are moving forward, and, it's been some delays in getting materials, but that's kind of a problem on particular small. So, but things are going along nicely.
okay, good.
Mr. Before you move on, Gregory, do you have any reports you wanna give along with that? I'm sorry, I didn't separate
For
them.
the ready,
The ready, do you have anything?
everything's complete, the only thing that's left is the lift, and then what I've talked about. On our end, the record drawings, we're working on record drawings for this project, and hopefully we'll have drafts for the village. Anything else we need to finalize before they're, published, we can do that.
Okay. Number 5. And I guess we have the funds for that, Molly?
We do have funds for that. What I need to do is ask the village or the board, to authorize a budget transfer to move monies from, the fire department small equipment for the amount of $4,120.80, from the police contractual, $6,000, and from the refuse and garbage contractual, $6,000. So we're taking from those two to add to the extra fire department to cover the expenses.
Does it delete all the extra money out of them accounts?
It takes them down, but it doesn't delete them.
Does it look like we're gonna need anything for the rest of the year for either one of those?
Not unless we have any major catastrophes or emergencies, we should be fine.
Any discussion on it before we motion to pay?
I'll make a motion to do the budget transfers, there's Molly.
I'll second.
Okay. We're gonna vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion.
The town on the water rates, they just want to talk and discuss everything. And did you guys have a date that you just want to hash things over?
The date they picked,
Start somewhere.
yeah, the date they picked was January 18th, next Thursday,
Is
at 5 o'clock.
building?
No, I think they
Do
were
we
gonna come
want?
down here.
Oh, okay, we don't wanna go on, proponent's territory,
You said the 18th,
Is that, what I wanna know, is that okay with everybody?
and you said what time?
5 o'clock,
I'm good with that.
Was it Thursday?
Thursday. Yep.
Thursday.
Jim, if we're gonna have over 2 people from each board there, we really need to advertise it as a workshop, and we need to do it a week in advance of everything else, correct?
Yes, you're correct.
For both municipalities.
So we're gonna call it a workshop?
Yeah, and instead of closing this meeting, we'll adjourn this meeting, because that's what you told us
Yes.
last time.
Yeah.
That's why we gave,
So we can give it a workshop, leaves it open, correct?
Yep.
You can do that to avoid the publication costs.
Okay. Everybody good with that?
yep,
Right. We don't need a motion for any of that, that's just something we decided, correct?
yep.
Anything else, old business, anybody can think of, Judy?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay? Nope. Mandy?
Nope.
Okay, let's move on to new business.
Oh,
Winter-
can I ask one question? I'm sorry. Walt,
Yes,
the fire department fishing derby starts the 19th.
correct.
Is this gonna interfere this meeting?
I would think so.
What date was it?
The derby's the 20th.
You mean the 18th, right?
Correct, at
18th.
5. They start setting up that night. I mean, they'll have.
We'll set up after your meeting.
Okay,
That's all.
just wanted to make sure that they
You're
were.
not gonna be here till midnight, right?
We hope not.
Depends on what time you get the beer stand open.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just
Well,
wanted
that's
to
fine.
make sure.
We're good.
Get your meeting over quicker.
And new business with water turnoffs, what's that?
Okay, so at this time of year, the village usually opts not to turn anyone's water off for non-payment due to freezing temperatures, water breaking, the turn off
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Can I ask just a question? Is there a large amount that's overdue that we're shut off?
Not many,
No?
no.
One,
Same offender.
one is worth what it cost you to
To
fix
dig
it.
it.
So
No,
do
I
we turn them off in
understand
the
that.
spring at first chance until they pay the bill?
April first, we would, and as long, you know, the ground's not, it's not 30 below at that point. They go in and they will shut them off, yes, and if they don't pay, there's deposits, everything on the account, so.
Okay, blood drive, there's some dates here for blood drives. 3/14, 5/6, 7/17. They want them in the community room here, is that where it is?
Mhm.
Am I reading that?
Yep.
Well, what's it, hospital for one of them?
Yes, yep,
Do we need to approve this?
generally do.
I'll make a motion to approve the date for the blood drive.
We have nothing in the community room at these times yet.
Okay. Get a second on that?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, we're good on that. Gregor, this is for you. The workshops you want to do for the water and the sewer?
Yeah, like, as we discussed, I think we can split them up, just because there's a lot to cover. I was actually gonna suggest next Thursday as a possible date, but it sounds like you're gonna be busy that day. So kind of whatever works for the village as far as
Well, what we
dates.
need to, it's kind of similar, we kind of have to leave it open to the public, correct?
Could you do it the same, earlier?
Wait.
An hour earlier, or whatever?
Basically, be us doing the walkthrough and then maybe coming here and going through the paperwork so you understand all the paperwork for the grant.
So, or it could be the other way around, we could do the paperwork first and have a little
Yeah.
presentation, and
How long do you
Yeah.
think, how much time do you need?
I would set aside an hour, hour and a half, at least for each.
For each?
Could you be here, could we do 3?
3 on Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
For
Then
which
you could
one?
just get your whole day, you know, you do it all.
I'd recommend doing the water first, because that's.
You wanna do one
farthest
day and
along.
one another day, is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
if that works for everyone.
Which one do you wanna do first? Let's do the water, because that seems to be the most critical.
Yeah.
Yeah. 18?
Okay.
So we'll plan the water on
3 o'clock
the
here?
18th.
We'll meet 3 o'clock here?
Just to
Okay.
continue.
Well, you
Well, yes.
would make a motion to
Yeah,
continue the
to
meeting.
continue the meeting
Okay, we need a
on,
motion to continue the meeting.
Can we decide sewer first?
he said water first.
Oh, I mean, are we gonna schedule a date for sewer or not yet?
Could we schedule that at the next meeting?
Might as well, we're right here,
Yeah.
because now we gotta wait till the following month to do it.
Sure. How's the following week look?
Everyone.
Open?
You guys do the following Thursday?
You wanna do the following Thursday at the same time?
Sure.
I don't know what date it would be.
So we're the 25th?
Yeah.
I won't be here the 25th.
Okay.
That's good, though, you guys can,
Well, kinda important.
I'll be in Utica with my brother.
Wanna do the
Okay.
24th?
I have you here, Greg, because you know a lot about
I won't be there the 20, I can't make the 25th.
You wanna do the 24th?
it. You wanna do one day earlier?
Yeah.
That should work. I'll probably have another individual with me, but I'll confirm tomorrow morning.
Let's tentatively set it for the 24th at
At
3
3.
o'clock.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Does that work for you, Judy?
Yep.
Sandy, you good with that?
I have lots of questions, Gregor. You might want to go an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
Either way,
Okay.
yeah, that should work.
So then, we just need the motion for to have the meeting be a continuation meeting on 1/18 and 1/24, correct? Can I do both
Sure.
at the same time?
You can, I mean, or what happens on the 18th, if you have your meeting, and you can continue it at that point.
Right on through,
Whatever.
do the workshop with all of us.
Okay.
So we need a motion to continue the meeting on the,
Are we, anything else?
we're working on that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's public
All right, so
concern.
I'll
Okay.
make a motion to continue the meeting to 1/18 and 1/20, 4
And 24.
Yes.
at 3 p.m. First is water, second is sewer. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. What else we got here? Public concerns, you ready? We kind of had that before to start the meeting with. Brent?
I'd like to thank the village. I've called Jared a couple of times. We needed some work on the parking lot, the ring with the skid steer. And we also, today, he lifted a big heavy compressor out of our compressor room and call him when he comes down to help us. So I'd just like to thank the village for letting him do that. He's very accommodating.
Really be insignificant, but going through the local laws, there is a law on the books regarding outdoor boilers and wood furnaces. In the new zoning law, we made that a not permitted use across all zones. So I don't know if that potentially poses a problem if somebody comes and says, we want to put a boiler in. One side, it gives all the specifications you have to follow. The other side says, no, you can't. Is that law still being on the books going to create a potential road?
So that is something that we have to send in and change the local laws. To the law, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Codes, yeah, of codes, and they will put new pages in our books
Okay.
to follow, because that's following your comprehensive plan from a previous, right? The one we just signed in?
The
Okay.
zoning, and
Okay.
again, I don't know, it may just be an insignificant detail,
Correct.
but I don't know
Just girls,
if
that's correct, right?
Yeah,
was a problem
so
down the road.
we have two different laws, each of which are effective. You're saying they're not compatible with one another?
Exactly, Mr. Burrows.
Yeah.
The old municipal law
Okay.
allows outdoor wood boilers and gives certain specifications to follow.
Okay.
The zoning law that was just adopted,
Okay.
forbids any outdoor wood boilers in any of the zones.
Okay. And then as a practical matter, what the board might consider doing is repealing the one provision that's not consistent. And that would be a filing with the Department of State. And the practical reason why you do that is this: if there's some inconsistency with our laws, if there's some ambiguity, if there's a conflict, then technically what happens is that has to be interpreted in favor of a property owner and against the village. So so essentially, the provision or zoning then would yield to something that's not compatible with it. So it's a good point. If you've got that, the board ought to consider repealing.
Again, that's where it all ended up in it ended up in a two, so I think that
Well, I haven't taken a look at it yet, but I
Yeah.
can track the provision down, and if you've got something, if the intent is to use what you've got with your current zoning, if you have some other existing local law that wasn't officially repealed, it's a pretty simple process to repeal that. You could have that on your desk for the next meeting. But understand, the most you do at your next meeting is if you're comfortable with it, you schedule a public hearing, and then after the close of the public hearing, you consider repealing that provision.
But if anybody has one, you can't make them remove it.
Well, that
I don't believe there's any in the village right now.
I don't know.
that
I mean,
blanket
because
rule
that would be an
doesn't
expense.
always exist. I mean, what we're dealing with is what's called grandfathering or prior existing non-conforming uses or structures. And technically, and that's a general rule, but technically the courts in New York State say no. If you've got a prior non-conforming use, the law doesn't favor those, and the municipality has the legal authority to phase those out over time. You can't phase it out instantly, but you can phase it out over a period of years. And the High Court in New York State's dealt with that. but admittedly, remove it.
I believe that one that was,
You don't think there's any?
I don't think it's there.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, I believe that was the only one,
Okay.
and that came in, and that's where the pipes came in to, cause it was up by the hospital.
Okay.
And so the smoke kept blowing to the hospital, and they wanted the pipe to go up past the height of the tallest building down there, which Monticello and them are pretty tall in the hospital. So you're just sticking the pipe up. So it ended up in quite a to-do for a while, and they worked it out, and it ran for a few years, but I don't believe it's there anymore. I haven't seen it there, and I think it's gone.
I think it's gone too.
I think it's gone. I think it's out in the country now.
All right, so then the law could be repealed and it won't negatively impact anybody.
Right.
Which is the
So
point.
I think
Okay.
that's what we need to do with that.
I'll track it down.
Paperwork, okay, I'll get the info.
Does that help you, Russ?
I'll work with them, I'll work with them.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, I just,
Yeah.
again,
But that's
what
just
little I know
for
about the
outdoor
law
burns?
conflict.
Outdoor boiler.
Somebody has
It's a wood boiler.
You have a
fireplace
combination.
or
Yeah.
something in your house.
No, a
that-
wood
No, no,
boiler is
no.
a whole
No.
different
No,
ballgame.
boiler is a whole
Heating,
different.
outdoor boiler.
Okay.
I don't believe any village, most 90% of the villages don't know.
Is there,
Look, I'll turn
are we,
it.
is there any more public concerns or anything? Does anybody have anything they wanna, no? We're not gonna do an executive session, it's on there, but we don't need to do it unless somebody has something they wanna bring up.
I don't.
I guess we'll just adjourn then, right? Is that what you, right, we're all set until next week, or
I'll
next?
make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Yours and
Right.
I.
Aye. Guess we're
The
good.
record, 40 minutes.
Might be.
Record.
Good meeting, very good meeting.